Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Sit Downs with City Lifestyle Vegas Edition. I'm Solea, your publisher for Red Rock and South Vegas. And today I have a very special guest, Dr. Niki Brunetti. She is the Executive Director for PBS in the Education and Outreach Department. And she is going to tell us all about this fantastic nonprofit that we have here in the Valley that really is such an added value to our kids and to people who don't have a lot of access to public television. Is that correct?
Everybody has access to public television. That's the key tenant.
Very good. So welcome, Dr. Niki Brunetti. I'm just going to call you Niki because you're my friend. So tell us about your story, first of all, your history with PBS. How did that come about? How long you've been there, et cetera?
I've been at Vegas PBS, honored to be an employee of Vegas PBS for the last 10 years. I grew up with PBS, like many people did, and Vegas PBS here in the Valley covers all of Southern Nevada. So
before you continue, because I have the tendency to interrupt people.
That's okay.
When I'm like, oh my God, we have to talk about this. So PBS.
Yes.
It's not PBR, the beer.
No.
What is PBS?
Public Broadcasting Station. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. The Public Broadcasting System.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's all I needed to ask.
And Vegas PBS is the local version of that. There is a PBS National Public Broadcasting in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And then you have your local stations throughout the country. Okay. So we are the localized PBS station here in Las Vegas.
In Southern Nevada.
In Southern Nevada, yes. Our signal actually reaches 86% of the state, so almost up to Reno.
Wow.
A little bit of Utah, a little bit of Arizona.
86%.
A little bit of California. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And does Reno have its own PBS like that
Reno
Northern
PBS.
Nevada has?
Yep. They cover Northern Nevada, and we are the middle of the state, almost from Reno, all the way down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. So you've been there for 10 years.
Yep.
How has the station evolved in these 10 years that you've been there?
We are considered the premier education-based station in the system, the entire PBS system. We are connected and partner very much with the Clark County School District. So Clark County School District is the 5th largest school district in the nation.
Really?
We provide direct services. Many people think of us as just as Channel 10, as TV only, but we actually provide direct services for families, kids, educators, any adult that surrounds a child. We serve through direct services.
What are those direct services?
So in the Clark County School District, there are about 65 pre-kindergarten programs that are funded through what's called Title I services. Mm-hmm. Title I is a federal allocation to school districts. We are in every single one of those pre-K classrooms. So what we do, and we do not just provide outreach to the kids alone or just to the adults alone. It is families. So on Fridays, those pre-K programs invite their families in. We teach, guide, provide activities, and show parents how to make the programming that is already on PBS Kids programming. Programs like Mr. Rogers that we're all familiar with, right? Which is now Daniel Tiger Be My Neighbor Day, right? Sesame Street. All of these fabulous programs that have been created already already educational. But the last thing we want is for kids to sit in front of a TV. Interaction is key. Interaction with parents, co-viewing, co-learning, taking that content, and now bringing in a piece of literature, a book to read that it extends that educational content. Showing parents how they can do activities with their kids at home in their living room to extend that educational content and make it. That interaction means I, as a child, am going to learn so much more if I'm actively learning as opposed to passively learning and just sitting in front of the TV. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, and not only that, you bring such a lost component, if you may.
Yeah.
Right nowadays, with all this technology and adults being on their phones, a lot of the times, and kids are on their iPads or on another phone, everybody's together. I mean, in the same room, but they're alone, really.
Yeah.
Right? So you're bringing an opportunity for families to interact, do things together, and that just fosters so much foundation for the kid and for the family, like emotional foundation. It's healthy.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You really, that's a very good analogy. You really hit it right on the nose, Solea, is that fostering the interaction is huge. And for children, especially, their minds are developing, their brains are developing. That interaction has such a huge effect than if they were just simply sitting in front of the screen.
Yeah, and kids, they feel loved if they're doing things with their parents, and their parents are learning how to set boundaries and structures and learning how to interact with their kids.
Right.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yes, and
Wow.
not just in the schools, Solea. We also, during the summertime, we partner with the Las Vegas Clark County Library District.
Okay.
We are in every library, and we provide those same family engagement workshops for free for parents throughout the entire valley. So Mesquite, Laughlin, Bunkerville, all of the outlying areas, as well as here in the city, we are at every library.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so each library has their own schedule, obviously.
Yes.
Do people need to sign up, or can they just show up?
They
You guys
can
are
just
there
show up.
regardless. Tell us a little bit about how it all works.
So at vegaspbs.org, start out, which is vegaspbs.org, and you would go to Ready to Learn, and we have what's called the Learning Neighborhood Van, and there's a map that shows you everywhere in the valley that we are scheduled to be. So there's a map as well as a calendar that shows you every outreach event we're going to be at. For instance, there's a Sesame Street event coming up that Elmo is going to be at.
Oh my God, I love Sesame Street.
Yes, and Elmo the character, families can bring their children and they'll get a chance to take a picture with Elmo at this event. It's the end of August. I do not have it memorized what the date is, so that means families have to go to vegaspbs.org to find the date.
It's all right.
They'll be able to go to that event, right? So we are at community events, in schools, in libraries, everywhere that families can get to us. We're there.
So your goals are you reach kids and you reach families. You also mentioned adults.
Yes.
So adults in what sense? As parents, or do you have separate programs for adults as well?
Well, I'll start with the programming that's on Channel 10. The reason for public broadcasting, one of the original tenets was to use the airwaves for good.
Okay. When did it start?
I believe the Public Broadcasting Act was 1967.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our particular station, Vegas PBS, has been around for over 55 years.
Wow.
Providing that inspirational programming.
Wow.
So inspiration and education. Well, that doesn't just apply to children. That applies to adults as well.
Right.
I call it quiet TV.
Quiet
when
TV?
I turn on Channel 10, our main channel, we do have 4 channels, but that's our main channel. And I'm watching Antiques Roadshow, or I'm watching... on Wednesday nights, it's Science Night, and there's Nova. And the programming is just quiet. And the background music, and sometimes other stations, especially when they break to commercial, get so loud.
Yeah.
Right? It's loud and...
Negative.
Well, sometimes, yeah, and a little discordant.
Everybody's in pain, or you need medication.
Right. Exactly. That's true, those commercials, right? Yeah. And we're non-commercial. There are no commercials.
Really?
There's no call to action.
Oh, wow.
There's no buy this now, come see us now. What you will hear is support for this program is provided by. So we have a lot of corporate supporters that want to align their brand with PBS because it's an incredibly trusted brand.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is donating to the station, and we're acknowledging their donation on air. That's not a commercial.
No, it's not.
So it is commercial-free television, which not only do you want to ensure your kids aren't watching commercials, so during the kids' programming time, but you also, as an adult, many times. I can't tell you how many times if I am watching a commercial TV station, the commercial, I forget what I'm watching, and I just go, I can't stand these commercials, and I end up just going to Channel 10
Yeah.
because I can't stand the commercials.
Well, I don't know how how deep you have this knowledge, but I'm a neuroscientist, if you may.
Yeah.
That was my previous role
Oh, my
here.
goodness.
Yeah. No.
Who
So
am I talking to?
I'll be quiet. So what I really want to get to is when we are watching television, we are in a hypnotic state.
Wow.
I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Well, I have to tell you, I was at one of our outreach events. In fact, it was our Be My Neighbor Day that we do once a year. About 10,000 people come to this event. And I had a gentleman holding his little girl. And he came up to me and he said, do you know, pretty much what you just said. He said, do you know that other children's programming, not PBS children's programming, they purposely addict kids?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him, I said, what do you mean? And he said, the flashing lights, the colors. It is designed specifically to addict kids.
Yeah.
And I just looked at him and I went, you're kidding me. And it really speaks to what you're just saying.
Yeah, but see, it all depends on where you position the TV, right? Because your eye movement, just if it's up a little bit, like in an incline, you go into that alpha theta state like this. And kids already from ages 0 to 7, they have no filter, right?
Yes.
Everything. They live in hypnotic state already. That's why everything that they experience, visual or hearing or whatever, they absorb it like a sponge. So you have to be really careful with kids between 0 and 7. And putting in front of them toxic stories or whatever, parents that don't monitor their children, they have no idea the harm that this can cause. And because it's already hypnotic. And so you present healthy programming.
Yes.
You foster the relationship between kids and their parents or caregivers. And really, truthfully, you are using this service to nurture healthier adults in the future.
I could not have
Right?
said it better, Soleil.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is the original purpose. So
who founded PBS? Is there such a thing? I'm a little ignorant, so that's why I have my guests come here and explain it all to me, right? So who founded PBS? Talk about the funding a little bit, because I know there was federal funding, and now, with the administration, it was cut out. It was like $2 million. I heard conversations like that. So tell us a little bit about that.
So the Public Broadcasting Act, I believe, was 1967. Lyndon Johnson, really his speech about why it was a needed act is one of my favorite speeches. And really, he talks about the access. There's two tenets. Access. Everyone should have access. No one should have to pay to see this programming. So that was the premise for it being partly. No PBS station is fully funded by, or ever was, by the federal government.
Okay.
It's just a very small component.
Okay.
They've said 50 cents per year for every adult is about what it costs. It was an incredibly small part of the entire overall budget. But the reasoning behind that was to ensure that everyone had access, no matter where you were, and that you would never have to pay for it. Partly for emergency services, as well as that inspiring programming and educational programming. They wanted to use the airwaves for good. The only way to ensure you're using those airwaves for good is to have it funded by the people, right? Because if it's somebody else funding it, then their interests
they can manipulate.
They can manipulate because their interests, and they're paying for it, so they're going to manipulate it. So the only way to keep that from happening was to fund it by the people, right?
Wonderful.
But also for emergency services. Think about if you're in the middle of the state. And during COVID, what we found was kids did not have access to internet. They had to stay home. So what did we do? One thing we knew they had is they could turn on Channel 10. Everyone has access to that PBS. So we changed our programming during the day. In the morning, it was for smaller, 4 to 6 year olds. In the afternoon, it was for and then it was elementary programming in the morning, it was middle school programming, and then high school programming. So we completely changed because we knew kids were at home. They couldn't go to school. Some of them didn't even have internet access to continue their learning. But what we
You
knew
stepped
they had
in. Wow.
was Channel 10. We even created programming that we actually won an Emmy Award for.
Wow, I'm
during
getting
that
goosebumps. That's what stepping up is really about,
is.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, you guys provided an incredible service at that time, which is so critical.
We did. And
Wow.
the programming that we created, we made sure had lesson plans surrounding it so parents could teach it at home, as well as teachers who were able to teach online during that time. We provided them with content as well as parents and families who were at home during that time. That's what Funded by the People is really about, is especially when there's a need, helping people.
Yeah.
So, but emergency services as well. If there's a major earthquake, there's a major event in our state, and internet goes down, it's a redundancy. It's a redundant system. You can tune in to PBS. You will be able to pick up a PBS station, and we will be transmitting that emergency information that you need to know.
Wow.
Our station, as a matter of fact, we have a 6,000-gallon diesel fuel because our master control we will never go off the air.
Wow.
For that very reason. And we can stay, if the power goes out, we can broadcast for a good 2 weeks using that diesel
Really?
fuel. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because the reason it ever was Funded by the People was to ensure that all had access to the information, be it emergency information or inspiring and educational content.
I'm blown away, Nikki. Wow. I'm blown away. You guys are amazing. So
Thanks,
tell everyone how they can support you. Do you guys take on volunteers? I know there are tours sometimes of PBS. So how can people get involved?
We are member supported, right? So for as little as $5 a month, you are going to have access to everything. You already have access to broadcast. There's also the PBS app that is really it's on every smart TV, and so you just need to find it.
Oh.
And you can watch us live, the live broadcast
Really?
through the app.
Okay.
Yep, streaming through the app, as well as all of the other programs. We have a lot of our drama night, our masterpieces on Sundays. So fabulous programs. Miss Scarlet is a huge one. There's so many. Right, it's the Netflix of PBS.
Okay.
So for $5 a month, you have access to all of the fabulous programming. You have access to that app no matter what, regardless if you're a member or not. But you might be able to stream 2 or 3 episodes of something you like, and then that's going to stop you, and you're going to want.
So to clarify, PBS, you guys provide free stations or free programming.
Yep.
So what does the $5? What are the $5 for?
So again, it's to help support that programming and keep it on air and support your local station.
But people don't need to engage in that if they don't want to.
No,
that's
they do
what I
not.
just want to make sure that everybody that's listening or viewing understands.
So over the air and through that app, you can always watch the live broadcast for free, always. And our local programs.
Oh, got
So we
it.
have a few local programs, such as Nevada Week, that's on every Thursday at 7:30, and it is something that we actually record right in our studios here. That will always be free. Outdoor Nevada is a program that was locally funded and locally shot. So that program is free. But if you wanted to watch national programming,
Got it.
it would be $5 per month. So it's $60 a year. You become a member of the station.
Okay.
And you receive a monthly Source magazine.
Okay.
Which is print like your magazine. And a lot of people will kill us, I think, if we ever move away from that, because there's always the cost of printing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That organizations want to go,
Yeah.
well, we can just put it all online.
No.
But I have to tell you that tactile experience. Remember the old TV guides?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the guy.
Girl, you don't have to convince
I
me
know,
about tactile.
right?
I mean, look what I do for a living.
I know. So I love that you
Yeah.
are printing an actual magazine
Yeah,
that goes out. I
yeah.
think that's amazing. But we have that as well. So for that $60 a year,
Okay.
you would receive that magazine as well.
And so aside from the $5 a month, people can really just donate any amount that they want to
Of
support.
course. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's member supported, right? We have 22,000 members
Wow.
who support us. And thank you to those members who actually, additional members as well as existing longtime members, really stepped up to the plate. You talk about what you were saying earlier was the federal rescission of funds. So it is no longer in the federal budget. And we had an outpouring of local
Oh, that's
support.
amazing.
Yeah. It's been
This community
truly
is so
heartwarming.
amazing. Like Las
Yeah.
Vegas, when it comes to supporting our local causes, our nonprofits, it's just so heartwarming how the community comes together to
Right.
support these causes and these organizations. I've never seen that anywhere else. This is
Seriously?
mind blowing. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
As someone who's relatively new to Las Vegas, it warms my heart to hear you say that. I've been here my whole life, so I grew
Yeah.
up here. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you see us that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so, aside from donating, can they volunteer? Do you have like volunteer positions? How can people get involved if like they don't have a lot of money to donate or they can't really spare?
We don't, especially since COVID.
Okay.
There's been, and because we're in emergency operations as well, like on our third floor, we have actually an emergency operations center. So if there were ever to be a large disaster, then all of the entities could come and work from there. We don't have a lot of on-site opportunities to volunteer. There's
Okay.
lots of, I'm happy to do tours for people who want to really come and see our studio and see what we do. But as far as volunteer opportunities, not so much anymore.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And tell us where the studio is and the website you already said it's vegaspbs.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And where is the studio?
It is on McLeod and Flamingo. So
Very centrally located.
centrally located, yep, off of what's now 11, used to be 95, but it's off the 11. As well as it's right in the middle of the city now, although now I think it's more east. The
Yeah.
city has grown so much.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to grow for sure.
Yeah.
And so to wrap it up, I have one final question for you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of what you do?
Oh, it's got to be the community outreach. It's community outreach. We do so much in our community that what I see happening and the faces of the families that I see being affected. I talked to you about workshops that we do in the libraries. I was at one of those workshops, and you would really be surprised that a lot of parents are intimidated to read to their children.
Really?
Yes, and so I was at a workshop and I watched, there were 5 families probably with their children, and part of our workshops are we always model how to read a book. So there's a literacy component. We've given over 1.5 million books out into the community for home libraries for those who would not otherwise have that opportunity. But what we do is we teach them how to utilize them. So we model how to read. We do, we do, you do, we read, view, do. So we read, we view a little bit of a clip from an educational PBS Kids program, and then do an activity. So what we're doing is modeling that for parents and with their children in the room. And I was watching a grandmother who came. She spoke very limited English, and she had her 2 grandsons sitting beside her. And they were reading the book, and she didn't really know what to do with the book. And she was turning the pages, and I saw her looking around, watching the other parents and how they were interacting with their children and the book and pointing to the pictures and the shapes and the colors and asking questions. What's that? What's that? What color is that? What's that word right there? You know, things like that. And she was very nervous. And I saw her watching all the other parents, and she started doing.
Aww.
And I was sitting in the back of the room, and I still cry just thinking about it, because that's what it's all about. When you can affect that grandmother, because those kids were way too quiet. I was like, they're too well behaved. You need to talk, right? Talking and interacting and using that book as the jumping off point to be able to interact.
It's the connection, yeah.
That connection that she was interacting with her two grandsons, and then they started interacting, and that's what it's all about. It's not about passive learning. It's really, really about active learning, and that's my favorite thing that I do. Absolutely, it's the favorite thing that we as an organization do, that I'm very proud of. Our local programming is fantastic. We have the two biggest studios. We have the two largest studios in the entire state of Nevada, and a lot of people don't know that. So as a TV station, do we do a lot? We absolutely do.
It's 24 hours?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, but our community connections, community convenings, I am incredibly proud of.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for all the valuable service that you provide here to our community and to the children and families in need of education and inspiration, because that's what you do. And such an honor to have you here today. Thank you for taking the time to tell our public, our viewers, what PBS is all about. And let's get involved, people. VegasPBS.org. Is there a phone number that they can call?
No, goodness. 702-799-1010 or Channel 10. So 702-799-1010.
Sorry to catch you off guard there.
Wait a minute. I don't call that phone number, so you know how
I do that every now and then.
I
know I do that every now and then.
Yeah.
Thanks, Niki.
I appreciate you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks so much for watching this magical episode. I had no idea PBS was all of this. If you could support them, that would be great. And you can support them by sharing this episode. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll be here next time. See you then.